STL. This is our 5th year doing Art in Bloom. It's always a joy to be here and to spend time putting flowers together for all the folks here in St. Louis that are going to be coming out this weekend to see the exhibit. This year I was fortunate enough to get the painting which is behind me. It is by an artist by the name of Wole Lagunju. This is called Aurora 2. Wole is a 58-year-old gentleman who currently lives in South Carolina. He grew up in Nigeria, and so the flowers that I picked today for this piece, many of them I tried to do some research for to try and determine if they had some type of maybe African descent. So I'll be happy to share that information with you. One other interesting thing about Wole is that he actually began his career as a graphic designer. And so one of the cool things about that is that even today, when I listened to some podcasts and stuff that he had put together, he had mentioned the fact that one of the things he does is he still designs many of his pieces of artwork on a computer and then transfers that information up onto like big canvases. So we can take a look at a few of the flowers. So some of the things that we used today were like these tie leaves. Tie leaves are, these are those dark leaves. They just brought really the color into it. And I think one of the things that I was most happy perhaps with was this particular leaf right here. It is actually called the African shield or the African mask plant. And so it was really cool to be able to get a few stems of that to be able to include in this piece. What's really interesting is the Art Museum encouraged you maybe perhaps not to exactly replicate the piece of artwork, but maybe to interpret the piece of artwork. So hopefully what you will see from the piece that I put together today is that I've tried to take all of the colors that are in the piece of artwork and I've tried to pull them all together into this. Meanwhile, trying to still do some that kind of helps you to emulate it so that when you walk into this room, that you actually know that this piece belongs with that particular painting. So let's just look at a few of the flowers. So besides the tie leaves, which I think are just beautiful, and this African shield mask, this bird of paradise in the photo, in the painting, that is very, very prominent. So it was important for me to include that. The bird of paradise is a flower that is historically from Africa, and so you'll see that is another one of the African plants. Another African plant is this like orchid over here. These grow in Africa as well. These are called Mokara orchids. But the ones that grow in Africa are a little bit different name, but they kind of have that same look and feel. Other things that were really important for me to include in this piece would be these anthuriums. If you look at the piece of artwork, you will see that he has used that anthurium as part of his background, and it was really important for me to include that thing. But I thought that there was a reason why he put that into that photo, into his painting, and so I did want to just make sure that I included it, even in that tiniest little of ways.